My name is UimSlayOnly and I play a restricted Ultimate Ironman. On this account, I don't do any skilling. I've locked my skills to train only Combat and Slayer. This means that I can do anything in-game as long as these skilling stats stay level 1. Think of it as a reverse skiller with no bank that has a goal to complete anything possible without leveling a skilling stat. This means I can kill things off task, complete quests as long as they provide or require no skilling XP, I can do most minigames, and also complete a majority of clue steps. I have some really big goals in this account, including Champion's Cape, 99 Slayer, 126 Combat, Raids 1 and 2 completion, pet hunting, and hopefully finishing the Inferno. I have been playing on this account for over 2 years. In that time, I've managed to reach some of my biggest goals alongside obtaining some of the best in slot equipment. In 2 years, I've managed to get 90 Slayer, Ranger Boots on just my 21st medium clue, a Fire Cape with nothing but prayer potions and Karambwans. I finished Mage Training Arena, acquired Guthans, Daroks, Arams, and Carols from Barrows. I've even completed 14 Chambers of Xeric raids for the Talisman Teleport and Preserved Prayer Scroll. I've trained a majority of my stats with some of the most obscure gear that you can think of. Most of my combats were trained with a leaf-bladed sword up until I got a whip. Magic came from any runes I could scrounge up. Prayer was almost entirely from ensouled heads. And range was trained without an Ava's accumulator while using a maple shortbow with iron arrows up until I got an MSB. Keep in mind, all of this progress has been obtained with 0 skilling stats and no bank. But sadly, that is not where this series begins. Recently, I was PK'd in the wilderness while going for a hard clue casket. A hard clue has the potential to grant me my best in slot amulet, the Glory Trimmed. If you didn't know, being PK'd in the wilderness above level 20 on an Ultimate Ironman means you lose 100% of your items. There is no protecting your top 3 items, there's no protect item prayer, regardless of being scolded or not. It was a very tragic moment in my account's history, but opened up new opportunities that most Ultimate Ironmen only dream of. Being PK'd puts my account in a very unique position. Most Ultimate Ironmen, when they start their accounts, don't have the opportunity to complete wilderness content. This is due to their account being too low leveled and under geared. When Ultimate Ironmen do have the stats and gear required for the wilderness, they have then decided it's not worth the risk since they lose 100% of their items. My restricted account now has the perfect opportunity to enter the wilderness without risking any untradables or high-end gear. All I need to do first to take on more of the wilderness is acquire some money, so that way I can purchase welfare gear and supplies every time I get PK'd. I now plan on being PK'd a lot, so the more GP the better. In my opinion, it wouldn't be a genuine rebuild if I didn't go to Revenants. Revenants are even better on an ultimate than any other account type, because if given the opportunity, we can utilize the extra drop chance from being scolded to our advantage. Since I'm practically scolded 24/7 with UIM death mechanics, I might as well go for the extra loot potential from being scolded. I figured I might get lucky at Revenants and receive some alchemical items or usable resources. I honestly had no idea I'd get as lucky as I did. On just my 11th imp kill count, I got an ancient relic. This drop is regularly 1 in 44,000 chance from Revenant imps, but while scold, it's just 1 in 15,400. Either way, it's an amazing drop, and this relic is hands down the best item that I could have received from Revenants. I ended up alching the relic for 9.6 mil instead of trading it in to the Emblem Hunter for 16 mil. Like I said earlier, money is all I need to take on the wilderness, and 9.6 mil should be more than enough. By the way, I usually store my GP in the Nightmare Zone coffers, which for the longest time I didn't have unlocked due to quest requirements, but I ended up unlocking it when the Corsair Curse came out. Thanks, Jagex. So, with all of this lovely gold now in my account, I know I can afford to get killed in the wilderness all I want. What I need now is a goal list for everything I want out of the wilderness. I need to do the wilderness content now before I start obtaining too much risky gear or untradeable items. This wilderness goal list consists of some very big upgrades for my account. Although subject to change, the list includes the Tyrannical Ring, Dragon Pickaxe, Chaos Elemental Pet, Callisto Pet, magic shortbow, Mage Arena 2 cape, rune crossbow, dragon boots, bounty hunter teleport scroll, and the Earth Warrior champion scroll. The Mage Arena 2 cape is really good for my account. I'll use it a lot in Chambers of Xeric. I had already completed Mage Arena 1, but still needed to cast extra spells to use the spells outside of the arena. With my newfound wealth, I bought blood runes in the Arceus general store, which were very expensive but worth it. With Mage Arena 1 done, a few friends from my stream helped me finish Mage Arena 2. I thought I'd have a lot more trouble with the 3 Mage Arena 2 bosses using only Karambwans that I purchased in Brimhaven, but it was surprisingly easy. After I turned in all 3 pieces, I decided not to actually receive the upgraded magic cape. What I can do is wait to obtain the cape until I'm done with wilderness content. It's technically one item knocked off the list, but I won't have to risk it while I do more wilderness content. I really wouldn't want to have to come back and do Mage Arena 2 all over again. The Crazy Archaeologist has a great drop table for me. I really only need the Rune Crossbow drop, which is a 5 in 128 drop rate, but I'd also be happy with getting a Power Amulet or Red D'hide Body, both of which would be huge upgrades for me. With Flames of Zami still equipped for Mage Arena 2, I killed the Crazy Archaeologist with ease. After only 27 kill count, I got the Red D'hide Body, and on 31 kill count, I got the Rune Crossbows. During the grind, I even got some Dragon Arrows, which I plan on keeping as motivation to get a T-bow and complete the Inferno. Since I now have the Rune Crossbow, I need a way to save it while doing more wilderness content. For those of you new to the Ultimate Ironman game mode, the best way of saving items is by utilizing the 1 hour death timer. If I die using the Edgeville Nettles, I can respawn directly next to my death pile where everything is safely stored for 1 hour. As long as I get back within that hour, I risk only what I choose to take into the wilderness. Keep in mind, this only works with tradable items, as untradable ones will remain in the inventory. Up next, I decided I needed somewhere around 8 million bounty hunter points. You might be wondering why an Ultimate Ironman that only trains Combat and Slayer would do bounty hunter or PKing. The main reason is this: I'm too lazy to do Wilderness Slayer for emblem drops and would much rather kill viewers from my stream for points. The 8 million bounty hunter points are for a very specific reason though, not just your typical rune pouch. As I mentioned before, I want to get Champion's Cape on this account, but there's one champion that's currently holding me back. All of the champion scrolls are easily obtainable on my account except for the Earth Warrior scroll. As some of you may know, Earth Warriors are only located across the Edgeville Monkey Bar agility shortcut, which requires 15 agility. This is a skill I'll never train, so I need another solution. I could range over the monkey bars, then telegrab the scroll, but the aggressive red spiders in this area make this difficult and annoying. Instead, I noticed I might have a chance at actually getting into melee distance of the Earth Warriors by teleporting to a target in the Bounty Hunter worlds that is already located across the monkey bars. After some testing on my main and boosting points with viewers from my stream, I managed to purchase the Bounty Hunter teleport scroll and safely get my 1 agility account across the bars. I really want this Champion's Cape, and now is the perfect time to achieve this scroll. I'll be grinding this one out in between other wilderness content. I also wonder if there are more beneficial uses of this bounty teleport on my account. The Chaos Elemental is the next big challenge on my rebuild. The Chaos Ellie is one of the oldest bosses in game with some very weird combat mechanics. It also has a very unique drop table that includes a 1 in 300 chance for a pet. If I manage to get a pet, it'll be the very first of hopefully many on my account. Alongside the easy pet, Chaos Ellie also drops a dragon pickaxe at a 1 in 256 drop rate. The reason I want a dragon pickaxe is for the very marginal damage boost during the Guardian room in Chambers of Xeric. The Guardians don't give any mining XP, and I'd rather have the higher max hit from a dragon pickaxe over the rune pickaxe. During the Chaos Ellie grind, I utilized a very convenient save spot. All I had to do to set it up is lure Chaos Ellie close to the resource area and stand 1 tile outside of its attack range. I used some really weird gear here, but mainly used a rune sword as it was easily reobtainable from the Champions Guild if I happened to get PK'd. During this grind, I managed to get multiple supersets to speed up the kills, which averaged about 3 to 4 per trip per hour. Luckily though, I received my very first pet on 57 kill count. I ended up naming it Little Chad, by the way. After getting the Chaos Ellie pet, I figured it was time to achieve one of the biggest milestones my account will ever see. I've been training range entirely without an Ava's accumulator due to it requiring skills for the quest, but thankfully with 99 range, I can use the skill cape's passive effect that acts as an Ava's accumulator. This means I can move on from inexpensive ammunition like broad arrows or bronze bolts, and upgrade to rune arrows that I can purchase in the range guild, or broad bolts, which are incredibly expensive for me because they're only obtainable by spending Slayer points. 99 range is absolutely the best upgrade I'll see for a long time. Between some of the wilderness grinds, I also plan on obtaining some other best in slot equipment outside of the wilderness. One of the most exciting things I'm ready to grind for outside of the wildy are the Holy Sandals and Drake's Tooth, which when combined make the Devout Boots. These boots are one of my favorite Fashionscape items. Alongside the fashion aspect, I also can save inventory space by maining just the Devout Boots for raids and Slayer. But seriously though, I just want to look like a champion with Devout Boots. Medium clues are actually very easy to complete on my account. I have like a 60% completion rate, so it shouldn't take too long to obtain these. I want to go over a couple additional statistics you might be interested in on my account. I'm currently sitting at 53 quest points with the ability to complete a few more. I've just been too lazy to do them. I have multiple quests halfway started so that I can get to a variety of clue steps. For instance, stopping at a specific part in the Grand Tree quest allows me to take a crash glider to the shipyard for a hard clue step. If I go any further in the quest, I won't be able to use the glider again. I also have a few mini quests completed. You might see me with a soul bearer in my inventory, which I use to hold up to 1k blood and soul runes. As for Zaya favor, I have the ability to 100% the Arceus and Shazian favors. Both of these are really good for me, since 99 prayer and shamans. All other favors seem to be impossible without skilling. As for obtaining a Slayer cape, this is currently impossible on my account. Shiloh Village is skill and quest locked, so I'll probably never have a Slayer cape. I find it weird that all Slayer masters don't have a Slayer cape. There's a couple mistakes that I've made on my account. These mistakes I would recommend anyone who tries to follow in my footsteps would avoid. These mistakes include starting Dragon Slayer 1 and completing Death Plateau. 2 years ago when I made the account, people were assigned dragon tasks and could use anti-fire potions regardless of their Dragon Slayer 1 status. Since I have started the quest, I now get assigned dragon tasks, which I skip 99% of the time. As a newer Slay only, if you never start Dragon Slayer 1, you won't get assigned dragon tasks, and this will save you a lot of Slayer points. Sadly though, I cannot personally complete Dragon Slayer due to it needing 8 crafting for an unfired bowl. This bowl is literally the only thing holding me back from slaying Elvarg. For Death Plateau, I originally thought completing it would allow me access to Godwar's dungeon. Sadly though, there is a 15 agility requirement to get over the rock falls between Death Plateau and the Troll Stronghold. Now that I've completed Death Plateau, I also get assigned spiritual creatures, which I can only kill in the Wilderness Godwar's dungeon area. Again, if you're starting another Slay only, this is one quest you want to avoid. I do luckily have enough quest points to block one task, and I've decided to block spiritual creatures with it. For any future Slayer only accounts, please do not complete Death Plateau or start Dragon Slayer 1. I also get asked a lot why I have 6 agility XP, and the reason being is because I've jumped across the broken lighthouse bridge one too many times to complete medium and hard clue steps. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in episode 2 of the UimSlayOnly progress series, where I take on Old School RuneScape's biggest, spookiest bear.